With 7 different trim level options, the Kia Seltos can quite literally be as simple or as complicated as you want. In today's video though, Charlotte and I are talking about the basics. So, my name's Gabby.
I'm Charlotte.
And this is the 2025 Kia Seltos LX all-wheel drive. And I did say we're talking about the basics, but that's a little bit of a lie because this is actually one up from the true base model.
Yes.
However, Charlotte, what do we seriously add in this trim?
Really the only thing that you're adding on in this trim is going to be the fact that it's all-wheel drive. If you're looking for something that's even more affordable than this vehicle, you actually can go down to front-wheel drive and get all the same interior equipment.
So Charlotte and I, today we're going to give you a full in-depth walkthrough of everything you need to know about the introductory trim level to the Kia Seltos. Because just like what Charlotte said, it'll be identical. The only difference is the addition of all-wheel drive, or save $2,000 and get front-wheel drive.
Yep.
Let's go.
Let's go. Before we start, I will just say the MSRP of this. This one is going to be priced at $27,695 plus fees and taxes.
So that means the front-wheel drive is $25,695.
Quick math with Gabby.
Perfect.
She really can do it all.
Now, in your introductory trim levels, you will get halogen bulbs for your main headlamps. With that, we also have projection fog lamps. So it is so nice to see fog lamps in an introductory model. In a lot of our vehicles, you have to go up to a mid-trim or even the highest trim level to get them. And in some place like Canada, where we do have foggy days, it's always nice to have. Surrounding your headlamp, you do have a nice bit of this brushed chrome. So it's not a true extra bright chrome that is a nightmare to take care of. It's just a nice, simple look that brightens up the overall exterior of your vehicle.
Has a nice texture too.
Yeah, it does. And that's not the only part of the Kia Seltos that's got a funky texture. When we go into the inside, you'll see our speaker design too. It's pretty fun. So I do like that even though this is an introductory model, there are some nice design cues both on the inside and the outside. For your front grille, you'll notice we just have a nice matte black plastic, and we do have a little bit more of that satin chrome peering inwards. For your Kia emblem, it's a brushed aluminum finish, and it's nicely stamped onto the hood itself. So it's not that old belt buckle logo that Kia used to have. We actually have a Kia Forte right over there with it. It definitely adds to the overall appeal of the Kia Seltos and gives it a nice modern look. Now, in terms of engine powertrain, there's 2 different options on the Kia Seltos. From the LX model all the way up to the EX Premium, you'll have a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. This powertrain will give you 147 horsepower with 132 pound-feet of torque. So it's not a race car, but you guys, I had the same powertrain in my previous vehicle. It gets up to highway speed just fine, and the best part is it's efficient. So even though this is an SUV with all-wheel drive, you are not going to be hurting at the gas pump. It has an average fuel consumption of about 7.6 liters per 100 kilometers. And of course, you can expect your vehicle to do a little bit better if you do opt for the front-wheel drive version. So, city and highway, this vehicle can be very forgiving depending on how you drive. There's no rated towing capacity on this car, so if you are someone who needs to tow, this might not be the SUV for you. But if you are someone with all-wheel drive being a must-have and you would like to sit up a little bit higher than a typical crossover, the Seltos is a great option, and you should seriously consider test driving one for yourself. Let's take a look at the wheels. So both the LX front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive will share the same 17-inch alloy design. I think they look quite nice. It's a nice lighter gray finish too, so again, with lighter paint like the white we have here today, or even the black option, or any color in between, it still looks good and it fits the vehicle nicely. We have a little bit of black plastic molding surrounding your wheel arch, which is very nice come winter time because you don't have to worry about salt, rocks, or just general road debris kicking up onto your paint. All right, let's work our way towards the windshield. This vehicle does have quite a bit of standard safety functions, and a lot of them have to do with what we have in the very center of the windshield. That is a camera that's going to watch the lanes and also the traffic conditions ahead of you. So in this vehicle, we have forward collision avoidance that also works with pedestrians and cyclists, as well as a lane keep and lane following assist system. The lane systems, although they sound very similar, operate a little differently. Lane keep assist will essentially give you a warning with an audible alert and a little bit of steering wheel pressure if you start to verge to the left or the right of your lane. If you're someone who likes to do lane changes without signaling, you're gonna hate this, but it is something you can turn off. The lane following assist function, on the other hand, will see if there's any upcoming bends in the road, keep you centered, and steer for you. So it's a bit more of a preventative function rather than a reactive function. Does that make sense, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Maybe not. One steers for you, the other one just beeps at you if you start to do bad things. All right, for your mirrors, you'll notice we have body color with a turn signal indicator and a little bit of black plastic molding. However, on the mirrored portion, we have the addition of blind spot collision avoidance warning. So what this means is we don't have to go on a higher trim level for that. Things like the, sorry, Charlotte was about to sneeze, but she caught it. Can you tell these videos are live?
Good.
A lot of our vehicles do not have blind spot collision warning on their introductory trim level. You usually have to go up for it, but again, it is so nice to see on our introductory model. You don't have to go up, you guys. For your door handles, they're just our regular style. This vehicle does have a keyed ignition, so you will not find proximity entry on this trim. However, it's only one level up to get it if that is a must-have for you. So if you can swing the extra, I believe it's around $2,000 for the EX model. It's a great function to have. Up at the top, we got our roof rails. They are standard on this vehicle, so if you would like to utilize a little bit of rooftop storage, there is the capacity for that. However, you'll find there is a lot of usable cargo space in the rear end of the Seltos. Your tail lamps have a beautiful design. I'll actually hit the brakes for you guys so you can take a look at it. And I'll hit the hazards too, so we get the full look at the lighting sequence. So brake lights, you can see our high mounted stop lamp and our regular brake lights. Hazards on now. So those will of course also be your turn signal indicators. Nice thing about the location on this vehicle, they are not very low. So again, if you're someone who frequently is in stop and go traffic situations where people are riding your bumper, they will be able to see your indicators. That is something that a lot of people have made comments about in other vehicles. All right, our rear bumper is just a standard black plastic rear bumper. A little bit of our, again, a more light design cue on the diffuser portion of the vehicle. And then in terms of cargo space, let's open up the hatch. Again, another nice thing about the Kia Seltos, and I don't want to kind of take your attention away from the LX model we have here today, is just the fact that because there are so many trim levels, there is such an easy way to find one that is right for you. So if you like something sporty, get the Turbo. The SX Turbo adds a lot of sporty and luxe functions. If you just care about luxe, but you want a little bit more fuel efficiency, the EX Premium adds on a power lift gate. So many other things, memory driver seat. So there are a lot of trim level options. All right, back to here though. Let's check it out. We have our rear seats up right now. However, if you'd like to knock them down and you got long enough arms, you can do it from the cargo area. There we go, 60-40 split. Each seat has car seat top tethers. And the best part is, although this is a compact SUV, we actually still get a spare tire. Truly a rare thing to find in vehicles in the size class. There's also a good amount of space down here too. So if there's anything else you want to carry with you for your road trips, there's room to have it here without getting in the way of your true cargo area. Also, not everyone knows about this, but if you watch the Kia Hyundai channel, you do. You can slide this floorboard out and drop it down. Probably easier if I take these out. And drop it down a level and get a couple extra inches of usable cargo space. So, the multi-level cargo floor. Pretty cool. There's quite a few different accessory options for the Seltos too. Of course, those are all optional, but depending on what adventures you want to do with your car, you can do that. The window trims are all going to be finished in a black plastic. Great thing about this, number one, it looks good, but it's also not gloss black. If you're not familiar with gloss black, it's those shiny black pieces on the outside of many cars. You'll notice after a few years, you see so many little scratches in there because they're always in high touch areas. You don't have to worry about those tiny scratches on this. So long-term overall appearance of your vehicle, this looks pretty dang good. For your fuel tank, it's a 50-liter tank, so it's not gonna hurt to fill up at the gas pump, and it just takes regular unleaded fuel, so 87 is just fine. All right, you guys, that concludes our exterior walkthrough. Charlotte will take you guys on a tour of the inside, and at the end, we'll answer a couple questions.
All right, so one of my favorite things about the Seltos is exactly what Gabby said, is just how versatile it is, but not just in the trims, but also for the amount of different lifestyles that's gonna fit. This vehicle really is capable of a lot, and a lot of different transitional periods of your life. So whether you are a young professional who may be a commuter, oh, just hit my head. That was really smooth, guys. Or maybe you're just someone who's thinking about, increasing their family in the next couple of years and want something bigger. Or if you're like, you know what, I just need something that's comfortable to get in and out of due to mobility concerns. Seltos, it's gonna check the boxes for all of those. So it really can stick with you for a long time. Let's start off by talking about what we see on the driver's side door. Lots of black plastic, which means it's nice and easily wipeable. And here's that funky speaker design that Gabby was talking about. So even though this is the introductory trim, I like that we're still keeping it fun with some different design elements. Makes a big difference in my opinion. Your mirrors, they are electronically controlled. They're also going to be heated, which is a nice touch, especially here in Canada. Your driver's window is one touch with obstacle detection with regular automatic windows for everyone else, and we have a bottle holder down below. You'll probably notice that it was pretty easy for me to get in. It's, you know, right at hip height, and the nice thing is that you have a decent amount of adjustments that you can make. So if you do want to raise up the seat, or of course adjust your backrest and bring it closer, I can't quite reach right now. There we go. Couldn't reach over my belly. Or bring it forwards and backwards, you certainly can do so. And again, very comfortable, especially if you are struggling with mobility. On this side, you have your brightness adjuster for your instrument cluster. You also have idle stop and go, which is something the turbo models lose. So when idle stop and go is active, this is going to be the feature that temporarily shuts off your engine when you bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop. And when you go to give it a little bit gas, it's going to kick right back on again to help with the fuel efficiency. You also have your traction control. And then up top, again, just some nice design elements, some patterning and texture to the black plastic on the dash, and then also some more of that brushed chrome that we've seen on the exterior of the vehicle. All right, you want to come around?
For sure.
Show the hazards in the front. That way you guys can see the lighting sequence up there.
I really like the addition of the chrome in towards the grille. I think it looks quite nice. On some models, that'll also actually be your LED daytime running lights. I saw someone ask earlier about the halogens. So the halogens are only on the LX models. Once you go up to the EX, they are LEDs. So it's not a huge cost difference to upgrade to LEDs.
No,
you also
for sure.
get a lot more comfort with the EX as well.
Yeah, the EX is definitely the volume trim. When it comes to the seats that are here in the LX, they are cloth. I like that we still have a fun design on the insert. You can see mixes of grays, a little bit of blue in there too. And then you're gonna have a manual passenger seat as well. So you can go and adjust your backrest and then of course slide the seat forwards and backwards. Now, one thing I really like about the Seltos is that it's very easy to use. It's pretty much what you see is what you get. Nothing's hidden. You don't have to dig through various menu screens. It's very easy to use, but also it has a great look. It's very, very symmetrical in design, especially when you take a look at the center area. And I think that just makes it age well and kind of look nice. I think sometimes you can do a little bit too much nowadays, and sometimes it's nice to go back to the basics because they're basics for a reason. It's where everyone should start.
Tried and true.
Yeah, they've been proven. All right, steering wheel. It is black plastic, and from here we have a split between our driving controls and our media controls. So media is right here with your virtual assistant, media modes, a favorites button, and your calling. And then from here you can enable your cruise control. You can adjust your lane following systems. And then also you can use this notes icon to cycle through this 4.2-inch screen to see your different drive info or how the vehicle responds to you as the driver. Access your driver's assistance settings, so if you want to adjust any of those safety settings on the exterior of the vehicle, you can. You can see your power distribution. Now this will only be available for the all-wheel drive, not the front-wheel drive, but tire pressure is available on all-wheel and front-wheel drive. Digital speedometer and tachometer, I'll mention that as well. Very easy to see, but this is the only screen that you're able to cycle between and change. As we take a look for a multimedia, we have an 8-inch screen here. The nice thing is with this screen, you actually have the capacity for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So nice wireless in this vehicle. Buttons on the side, exactly as they say. Radio's radio, media's media. This one's going to be a favorites button. And you have real volume and tune knob. Something you can never go wrong with, if I'm being completely honest. Can never go wrong with that.
I hate when they have a volume knob but no tune knob, and then you gotta press the screen to...
Or even worse, tune knob, no volume knob.
That's a crime.
You're in a whole different ecosystem when you do that. For our climate control, you do of course have air conditioning. So adjust the temperature, adjust the fan strength, and adjust the fan direction. Air conditioning and your rear defrost, which will also trigger your mirrors. Little shelf right here for your phone. And then if you do want to use any type of charging or connectivity, you have a USB to do so, a USB-C, and a 12-volt, all three options. You also have drive mode select. Drive mode select, it's going to change up how the powertrain responds depending on which drive mode you put it in. So normal, sport, and smart are your three options, and I like how they still go and change up the cluster theme. It just is a fun touch even on an introductory trim. Real gear shift, which again, always a win. Your heated seats for the front two. Your downhill braking assist, I was right. And then from here, your locking differential as well. So the Kia Seltos, what makes it a little bit different is that it's our only vehicle where you can manually lock your center locking differential. Said that a lot. And again, that's going to be one of the only interior differences between this and the all-wheel drive. Regular handbrake, cup holders, and then a little bit of hidden storage too. Decent amount of depth though, I will say. Up top, just regular rear view mirror. You have some regular bulb lighting as well. And I think it's time that we go and take a look at the second row.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You guys know I love doing a door handle test. Nothing makes me more angry than a cheap door handle. These feel solid. They don't feel like they're gonna fly off, especially come wintertime where things get cold.
All right, so second row, nothing too crazy going on back here. I like that the backs of the seats are the plastic because that just makes it way more wipeable and easy, especially if you have little kids back here who are kicking the back of the seat. I really like how they've included the same detailing when it comes to the speakers and also the inserts on the seat. Again, just makes it feel that this hasn't been forgotten about. And then also you have a pretty wide center seat. Your middle seat, if you take a look at it, this is girl measuring, it's almost the same width as what you can see for your main seats, which I think a lot of people will find comfortable if they are driving with either 3 kids back here, 3 adults. You're going to be able to fit everyone still. The downside, I will say, is going to be the hump if you are sitting in the middle. If you have small feet, you can fit them here, but if you don't, you're probably going to have to lean into your friends for some leg room. Again, not the absolute worst, but probably not where you want to put your tallest driver either.
I feel like it's not actually that high at all.
I don't think it's that bad.
No.
I mean, I drove a Seltos for a couple years, actually, yeah. And it was, you know, it was not the facelift version, but the size is going to be the exact same. And my dad, who's 6'2", he's obviously been in the vehicle. He's been able to fit in every single seat, which I think is really nice as well. So even though I know I'm not the tallest, take my word for it, hopefully. I will also let you guys know that it is equipped with sets of lower latch anchors, so it is car seat compatible. However, not 3 car seats across compatible.
All right, let's answer a few questions. Just a few. We don't want today's video to be too long because we're going back to the basics, am I right?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
All right, so I saw someone earlier mention that this looks nothing like the Indian spec, or I guess Indian spec. I could just said that again. The India spec.
That's
Kia
because
Seltos.
we're in Canada.
We're in Canada, and also yours may look different depending on the trim level. This is the introductory model, so the absolute base model available on the Kia Seltos. It changes drastically depending on what model you get. If we go one up from here to the EX, the interior already looks completely different. So imagine what the top trim level looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, let me grab my stuff. All right, let's see what else you guys are wondering about. MacBook Pro agreed about the crime that is removing the 2 knob. Oh, okay.
We told you it's live.
Yeah. They asked if there will be an upcoming stream about the Kia Sportage in the future. Absolutely. Called the Kia Hyundai channel for a reason. We'll cover all our cars, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, a lot of talk about this and it being manufactured in India. This one isn't, but there is supply that is manufactured there, and it also looks like you have different powertrain options too. Like for instance, in Canada, we don't have a diesel variation. It's just going to be what Gabby has spoken about for our powertrain options, the 2-liter and the 1.6-liter turbo. So yeah, different countries, their vehicles are manufactured in different locations, which is very cool. And also they can have different specs and powertrains, so the more you know.
The more you know. Someone also asked no 2.5 liter, so no. The largest displacement engine on the Seltos is actually this one. If you want lower displacement, more output, there's the 1.6 liter turbo. We got asked about airbags. There's 6 of them across all trim levels. People forget that base models today are the equivalent to mid-spec and top-spec cars of 15 plus or 20 plus years ago. Yeah, so it used to be if you wanted a base model, especially in the Kia world, you're looking at a manual transmission with no air conditioning.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, no AC.
Crank windows.
Yeah, no nothing. Our base models now, they got a backup camera, they got safety functions. I'm not just talking about ABS, I'm talking about the collision avoidance, I'm talking about lane keep, I'm talking about blind spot detection. There is a good amount of tech in this vehicle for sure.
Yeah, so DT UK, that was a really great point for you to bring up. Thank you for doing that.
Is there any chance that Kia might introduce the Sportage in India? So seeing as we are not Kia official, we're not Kia worldwide, we're not even Kia Canada, we're just a Kia dealership in Brantford, we actually don't have any insider information as to which vehicles are going to which markets and any sort of cool answers to questions like that. So I can say I hope for you guys, but I have nothing confirmed. I'm sorry.
How many speakers are in the standard audio system? There are 6 speakers. X Development said, can I ask some questions about the Sportage? You certainly can. We'll do our very best to answer them for you.
Adam Casagrande, so translate in Portuguese, your last name means big house.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the K5 GT with the GT1. Any plans to show that car anytime soon? We would love to, but unfortunately not. Seeing as we are based in Canada, we no longer receive the Kia K5 at all, so no K5 GT, no K5 base model, no K5 anything. And we never got a GT1 package for our K5 either.
No. We did film at the New York Auto Show the K5 GT, so we did give a quick walk around of that, so it is there. But that's the only video we've done recently.
Yeah. I will say the K5 GT is a wicked car, and I love it so much. I really wish we did not discontinue it. But, this was a comment we got a while ago. Someone was upset about Kia discontinuing our fun sedans because they didn't sell. We never got any, right? But every time we got one, it sold. So it's not that they didn't sell, it's just we never really received anything, right? So that was upsetting. Gabby Gabs, are you Portuguese? Yes.
You know it.
Does the top trim of the gas Sportage have ambient lighting? It does not. Fala português. Sim. All right. Any questions you want to answer, Shar?
I think I saw one. Do you know if there would be blind spot monitoring on the Sportage 26 Hybrid SX? Yes. Yeah, yep, there is on the SX. Yeah, it starts on that trim for the blind view monitoring. Yes.
Shar, are you going to do a gender reveal for us sometime?
I already did. I'm having another girl. So 2 girls in the Mitchell household.
And her name's going to be Gabby.
Gabby's trying to gaslight all of you. I think sedans will come back along with station wagons. I hope station wagons come back. I'm a station wagon girl.
Brad said another girl, really? Yeah, really.
You know what? Take it up with my husband.
All right, Char, should we end off today's video?
Yep, that'll be all for today. We will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, brush your hair. If you have any questions that we didn't answer today's live stream, leave us it in the comments. We'll check it.
Bye.
Bye.